Hi everyone, welcome to my video on how to install Cloudera QuickStart VM on VMware on Windows. So this procedure will apply to Mac OS as well. So let's get started. So let's see the basic requirements to install Cloudera QuickStart on the VMware virtual machine. Coming to the requirements, you need to have a 64-bit virtual machine and also requires a 64-bit host operating system, which may be either Windows or Mac OS X. And this host should be supporting virtualization. So please check your documentation of the system and also check the BIOS settings to make sure that the BIOS virtualization is enabled. Coming to the memory, it requires at least 4 GB of RAM for the virtual machine so that it can work smoothly without having any issues with or conflicts with the guest operating system or host operating system. And coming to the software, you need to download and install VMware Player 6.0, which is free. And here I'm going to show you how to install this on Windows. And coming to the Cloudera QuickStart VM, you need to download the QuickStart VM 4.7.00, and this is the version of VMware. So there are 3 versions of Cloudera QuickStart, one which works with VMware. The second is some other format and recollect it, and the third one is VirtualBox itself. And importantly, the last one is you need to have a tool which is going to extract the 7-zip archives. As you can see here, the VMware is compressed, not the VMware, the Cloudera is compressed into a 7Z, and you need to have the software from 7zip.org to extract it, or any tool which can handle that. So let's actually see the demo on how to install it. So here you can see I have already downloaded my Cloudera QuickStart VM, and there's a 7Z. Now let me go back and extract it. So I'm going to extract this directory into this location. So if you have VMware Workstation, you can also follow the same steps. So the steps will not be any difficult. So again, older versions of Workstation can be used to create a new virtual machine using the same virtual disk or vmdk file. So as you can see here, it's trying to extract the Cloudera QuickStart VM, and the format is vmdk. And one more thing is I had actually downloaded and installed the VMware Player 6 before downloading Cloudera VM. So this is going to take a bit of time, as this is almost like 2.5 gigabytes of compressed file. So the file is extracted. Let's go into that directory and see what are the different files that were extracted. So here we are going to load this file, which is -VMware, and this is my VMware player, which I have already downloaded and installed. So first step is, here we already have a virtual machine extracted. So as you can see here, you have two different options. One is create a new virtual machine, and the second one is open a virtual machine. As we already have the virtual machine, we are going to use the second option, open a virtual machine. Just click on that and navigate to the location where you have extracted the VMware or Cloudera VMware, and by default it's going to select the vmdk file. Just select and open it, and you can see that the VMware player recognized and created that virtual machine. So before starting this, let's quickly go back and change some settings. So depending on the RAM that you have on your machine, you want to change the memory that you want to give it to the virtual machine. And similarly, if you have multiple processors like I do, you may want to give more processors to this particular virtual machine as well. And the third option is the hard disk itself, right? So you may want to defragment or expand it, or you have different options which you can try it out. Okay, and you also have an option to add different hardwares, and when I click this particular add button, you can see that there are different options that has come out, and I'm just going to cancel this for now. And you can also select the different network connections. If you want to select a bridge connection or a NAT or host only or custom, you can change those, right? And you have an option to select the bandwidth as well, what is going to be the incoming transfer and the outgoing transfers. And it is also going to generate a specific MAC address using which you can log in or detect this particular VM. And if you want to change this, you can change the name of the virtual machine itself, Cloudera 4.7, right? And you can see that by default it has chosen Linux and CentOS 64-bit. And if you have any shared folders which you want to share between your host and the Cloudera virtual machine, then you can actually add those hosts by clicking on always enabled, and you can add a particular location. You can create a directory on your Windows or Mac and use that as a partition, or share that with your Cloudera QuickStart, and that's it. Let's press OK and select the virtual machine and click on the power on button. So as you can see, it is starting the CentOS, which was shipped along with Cloudera. And by default, Cloudera runs on CentOS, which is one of the popular distributions of Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Okay, let me power this off. I think mistakenly it started the other version. So let me start this and start. So you are going to get this message when you're going to start the Cloudera, and just select I copied it. So CentOS is booting up. Okay, so you can see the desktop of Cloudera itself, and by default it's going to start the Firefox browser, where you can see the Cloudera manager link and the Hue link. Let me log into this. So the first time you have started your Cloudera virtual machine, it's going to take some time to start all the various services. So just be patient. Similarly, let me also log into the Hue. So if you have allocated lesser RAM, it might even take longer time to get these services started up. So you can use the username as Cloudera and the password as Cloudera, which is the default username password, and you will be taken to this all services page, where you can see what's the status of different services of HDFS or the Hadoop system itself. So here you can see that HDFS is up and good, and Hive is up and good, Hue is up and running. Similarly, MapReduce is up and running, and as well as the Zookeeper. So let's check the Hue as well. So use Cloudera to log in, and you'll be redirect to this Hue welcome page. And here you can see there are different options, like you can directly query the Hive, Impala, Pig, or you can use the Solar Search, HBase, interact with HBase and the normal shell. And you can also browse this particular link to check what the different files that are available in HDFS. So as this is your first installation, there are no files that are available in HDFS. Similarly, you have different links of jobs to check what jobs are running in your Hadoop cluster, and different tables, right? So these are the different options which the user can explore. And again, here on the Firefox bookmark toolbar, you can see multiple links. Like the first one is the HDFS name node, which is the main status page of the name node itself, right? And from here as well, you can browse the HDFS location, right? And by default, these are the directories that are created by Cloudera. And if you go to the user, you have these multiple users, and every time you click or open the terminal, you'll be logged into a user called Cloudera, right? And you'll be performing all different tasks as a Cloudera user. So let me quickly create a file and try to put in HDFS touch test first file in HDFS test.txt, right? So this is my file, HDFS dfs-put test.txt, right? By default, this is going to put into the user Cloudera location of HDFS. Let's quickly browse it. So this is the file that we have just put, and this is a simple content. So if you are looking for additional commands on how to use or work with HDFS, please check my other video where I have completely outlined different commands that you can use with Hadoop. So that's it for today. I hope you had enjoyed my video. Thank you.